see. Does this work? It does. It does work. Like to talk about you.
I can't hear it though. I don't know if I'm supposed to be able to hear it.
I can't hear it either.
Well, it's real Murphy's law.
You can't hear it?
No.
That's
I can't
bullshit.
Hear it either. Are you window sharing instead of browser sharing? Sometimes that happens.
I'm also sharing tab audio, bitch. Let's try it again.
Now it seems like I'll be able to hear it.
You're very nice to me.
Yes.
Know about you.
Sex change operation.
See, I see.
Man to woman, or woman to men.
Man to woman.
From penis to vagina.
Penis to vagina.
Yes.
Is it for you?
For me.
What would you like to know about it, madam?
I want to know it all. What is the
Protocol.
The techniques and the risks. How many
Yes.
operations? How much time do you need?
I love
so out of
the
loop,
stall
dog.
out there.
What the fuck is that from? What is that from?
It's Amelia Perez. It's the most
What the fuck? You don't know about
Oscar-nominated film in modern history. What are you talking about?
This is the show where we peak our mics.
I haven't seen anything from Amelia Perez. I had no idea what it actually was. I've just heard people bemoan it on film Twitter. Like everybody was like, "This is a disgrace. This is an abomination." They gave it a dozen.
They don't
Oscar
understand film.
nominations.
They don't
It's
understand film.
Trash. I've personally decided to boycott the Oscars after they robbed my man Trent Reznor. Not even a nomination for what was clearly the best score of the year. So
He should have
can't
gotten a
participate.
sex change operation. I see. Well, welcome, folks, to another Circle Jerk. We've got Zach. We've got Mac.
Let's go.
And I didn't want any other host that didn't have a name that rhymed. So here we are today. We got a lot of big
I don't
stories
know who
today, boys.
Zach is. My name is Seppuku, but whatever.
Right. Yeah. You go by.
It was Seppuku.
Oh, is that how you
culturally
pronounce it?
identified.
I thought so, but you're not an anime weeb like me,
Sorry,
so
dude,
you
just
wouldn't
got
know.
Fucked up. You don't even know what seppuku is, dude.
Wow. Honestly, I'm
Dude.
calling it seppuku. Otherwise, it would be cultural appropriation. You know,
Okay.
I wouldn't be
Alright.
doing my ancestors justice if I didn't mispronounce it along the way.
That's
fair.
right. Well, I don't know where your ancestors are from. I'm guessing they're not from Shogun.
No.
You're not the one that guy from Shogun. That's not your great grandpa.
It's dicey.
See, the thing is,
you
Zach
know.
doesn't watch any TV, any film, hasn't seen Amelia Perez, has no idea what's going on. Let's
Hey,
just
I
get
watched
to the
a lot of
stories.
movies.
He's
from
an
last
out of
year.
touch elite.
I watched a lot of the 2024 releases. You take that
Okay.
back. I just didn't watch any of the hogwash that the Academy recognized. I'm sorry I didn't go see The Brutalist because I care about real artists. I care about real art, and I won't see anything that employs artificial intelligence to make its point. I believe in cinema. I'm sorry. I thought we went to the movies to embrace tradition, huh?
You don't-
Yeah, I thought it was one of
artificial-
the
you
last
don't have
secular
regular
refuges
intelligence.
of collective being. Okay, and here we are tainting that. They're breaking their promise. Okay, my disbelief has been shattered. I can no longer participate. I just have to grieve. From
Okay,
my
I'm
own
playing the
home.
Oscars music on this diatribe. Big stories today. We're going to be covering the DC plane. We're going to be covering a completely different kind of sort of more metaphorical plane crash in RFK Jr.'s hearings. We're going to be looking at the Nazi bishop.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know what else to call him other than the Nazi bishop. That's a new character, probably a new long-term character on this show, the Nazi bishop, and what's going on with his employment status after employing the Elon Musk salute. We might look at an article about the new cool kids. You know, I guess there's a whole new brand of cool kids. It's cool. Racism is back. It's cool, and it's cool to be racist, and it's okay, apparently, says the New York
Yeah,
Mag.
There's a new clan, and it's for the Ku Klux Kids. You know what I'm saying?
It is the Cool Kids Clan, the KKK. And then, then we're going to get into some Oscars drama. You know, Oscars are coming up, and we have some drama with a certain star of a film that I personally loved, nicknamed Amelia Perez. And then, yeah, whatever else we got flying around. Lots of stuff happening, lots of hearings. But let's get started with that plane. Now, it's a great time for me because I'm about to get on a plane. So this instilled me with confidence. But last night we had this tragic plane crash in Washington, D.C., mere days after Trump removed all DEI from the government.
So
Now-
close. We were almost there to preventing this from happening.
Oh, see, I think that they took out all the DEI, and now the planes can't fly because that's what the planes were flying on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's
That
fair.
was their fuel.
That's fair.
It
So
was
very
a terrible
tragic
standard
here.
that the Joe Biden administration set. Terrible, horrible, no good, very bad standard. We're setting a better standard. It's a far better standard.
We're
Great
setting a better
standards,
standard.
never better
So,
standards have been
you know,
set.
The impression, I gotta say, the impression could use a little bit of work.
Everybody's
It
a
could lose-
hater on this podcast. Wow.
Everybody's a hater. Listen,
Everybody's
the
a
planes.
Wow. Hey, he's
They're
about
not
to
flying.
chuck a big stone in his glass house. He's gonna be like, you know
They're
what,
not
guys?
flying, and it's because of the gays. The gays are making the planes stand still.
The wings, they're doing the hand thing with the wings, and that's why the wings don't fly. The wings are queer. Let's take it from Trump. Let's find out what caused this plane crash. Let's go, and this time I will share tab audio.
In the claims that you've made, are you saying this crash was somehow caused and the result of diversity hiring? And what evidence have you seen to support these claims?
It just could have been. We have a high standard. We've had a much higher standard than anybody else. And there are things where you have to go by brain power. You have to go by psychological quality. And psychological quality is a very important element of it. These are various very powerful tests that we put to use, and they were terminated by Biden. And Biden went by a standard that's the exact opposite. So we don't know.
Okay, so that's it. So it was diversity that that took down this plane. What do you guys make of this?
Well, you know, I was thinking about it, and I thought it was people from flyover country. They're pretty expendable. You know, it was a plane from Wichita.
Jesus.
If it had to go
Okay,
down,
all right,
I'm
not the
just saying-
direction I
Jesus
expected you to
Christ,
go.
man.
You know, I was thinking
Can
about
we,
it.
can
I
we
said,
keep
you
it
know
on
what?
hating the blacks and the gays or whatever, and not on the victimless passengers?
Where do you,
You
live
know,
again? What's your?
I grew up in Kansas.
Yeah,
I was kidding.
yeah. Where do you live?
Exactly.
I too am one of those amorphous individuals between Los Angeles and New York City, and you know what? I'd say some of us could use the trimming off. You know what I mean?
Okay, well,
That's a bold take. That's not the take I was expecting, not the direction
But
I was
that's what we
expecting
love
this
here.
to go, but that's circle jerk America.
You
It
know
is,
what?
because
know?
we're a
It's
circle of
God's
diverse
will,
opinions.
is what I'm here to tell you guys. You know what? You know what? God willed it.
Well, on that note, let's hear a little more from Trump here.
Mr. President, you have today blamed the diversity elements, but then told us that you weren't sure that the controllers made any mistake. You then said perhaps the helicopter pilots were the ones who made the mistake.
It's all under investigation.
I understand that. That's why I'm trying to figure out how you can come to the conclusion right now that diversity
It's so fucking good.
Because I have common sense. Okay. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't.
Do your own research, folks. So here we are. We've established that Trump has said they are diversity, and what I like is they really went for this before even knowing who any of the pilots were. That they just hoped that none of the pilots were white. We do have a pilot reveal here. These are the pilots. Rest in peace for Captain Jonathan Campos and First Officer Sam Lilly. Now, here on the left, you know, it's like this seems like an American man. Seems straight. I guess Latino of some source.
Whoa,
Is that
no,
where I went wrong?
Beep,
Whoa.
beep, beep, beep. I've never met this man in my life. Frankly, I thought I was just gonna be doing this show with this good friend of mine, Mac. And this guy over here, he popped on. I'd never heard of him. I thought I would share some good-natured humor making fun of corn-fed Americans. Never did I sign up for any of this this racism.
Which part was racist? We've been saying a lot of on the show.
Griffin wants this guy in Gitmo. He wants this guy shipped off to the new concentration camps.
I didn't realize I was doing the show with Michael Scott. Jeez.
I don't want this guy anywhere but in heaven now. I feel bad for him. But then on the right here, we've got First Officer Sam Lilly, 28.
He looks like a more handsome Mr. Beast. Like if Mr. Beast
yes.
could cast
He does
somebody to
kind
play
of.
himself in a movie, I would say that it would go with the guy like this. Like he's leaner in the jawline. He has more loving eyes.
Yes,
And,
if Mr. Beast like had a soul and like knew what
Right.
love was.
if he
And
found a
so-
real passion, like flying airplanes.
Yeah, so it's very sad that they both passed, and it's just bizarre because this was like a military helicopter that had also 3 guys on it. And what happened, Mac? They just like went straight into
was
it,
a
and we're still
bit-
trying to figure that part out.
Yeah, it was like a Black Hawk Down, I guess, right? I mean, it was, you know, you had a plane that was coming in, it was on its
Yeah.
descent, and then you had a helicopter that was sort of coming in.
No
they were
lights
looking the wrong direction. They were talking to the air traffic controllers. They told them to look after a plane that was coming, that was taking off, I guess. So they were looking the wrong direction, and they just flew straight into it. Like, if you look at the actual video of it,
Yeah.
it looks like they just made a beeline for the plane.
Right.
So
It's crazy too because there is that other plane that's taking off that they were clearly preoccupied
Right,
with.
right.
And you can only imagine what it would be like to have watched that explosion from the plane that was taking off. But it's like one of them goes away this way, and that's boom, right when you see the explosion. It is crazy. Why were they flying around DC? Like, is that commonplace? I don't live in DC.
Okay,
Both of
so
you guys have.
two things on that. Number one, there are military copters and police copters like all over the place in DC at all times. But at the same time, if you're gonna do a test flight, if you're gonna do like a training flight or whatever this was, why are you flying through like the main airspace in DC? This is like one of the busiest airspaces in the entire country, and they're flying straight through the middle of it in the middle of the night. It just, it's, I don't know.
So we've
It's-
got some details now about the 2 pilots of that Black Hawk. According to senior Army pilot who spoke to Pentagon reporters, the instructor pilot in charge who was flying the Black Hawk had 1,000 flying hours, which is considered experienced, considering most flights are on average 2 hours in length. The co-pilot, who was also being evaluated, had 500 flying hours, which is considered a normal amount of experience. Both were being evaluated during the flight and were familiar with the area and route. This is a relatively easy route, said someone from the Army with decades of experience. And they were likely wearing night vision goggles. This should not have been a problem. So yeah, incredibly bizarre. I mean, I guess there's always like a sign for error, but you know, before we get to maybe some of the meteor theories, let's get to a big character on the show, a fan, Valentina Gomez, who is coming up with her own theory that she's going to get to the bottom of this before anyone else, I think. Let's see what Valentina, our favorite Far Cry villain, has to say.
America is under attack. The chance of a helicopter and a commercial plane colliding in the most secure airspace in America is 1 in a million. Both their tracking signals went offline in the exact same spot. So I know for a fact this was no accident, especially when it involves a military helicopter. I want the truth, but I have faith because Pete Hegseth is Secretary of Defense and Kristi Noem is Homeland Security. So I look forward to finding out who is responsible for this.
Yeah, and when they do, Kristi Noem's going to kill their dog.
Yeah, watch out for all pet owners behind this. Christy's coming.
Is she is she still running for something, or did she?
No, she lost her race. She got fired from her dog food company for being too
wow.
racist online, and now primarily makes her money off Twitter Blue interactions from replying to everyone, and also she hunts pedophiles on Rumble for Rumble coins.
Yes.
So she's doing
Does
better
she-
than all of us.
Does she continue the racism into the dog realm? Like, does she have a specific kind of dog
That's a
breed,
good
or
question. I
is
wonder.
she-
I wonder if we could call her out on that. Maybe she's woke in the
She's-
dog
she- yeah,
realm.
yeah.
So, you know, people are saying, okay, like, you know, it was this, it was that. And what it seems to be is just like there's not enough people doing this job. But specifically, someone reported here from the Daily Beast, the FAA chief quit on January 20th after Elon Musk told him to resign. Epic business move, sir. Epic win. And so this just kind of goes along with like all of the kind of like, you know, just like stripping that they've been doing of the government.
It's
over
a
the
slash
last
and
couple
burn.
days.
It's a
slash
move
and burn.
fast and break things kind of strategy.
And people are always like, they're using the Twitter meta. He's going in there and he's firing everyone. And look, Twitter's still around. To which I'd say, show me the profit margins of Twitter right now. Yeah, it's still technically a site that works when you click on it.
Show me the engagement of Nazi posts on Twitter right now.
Show me how in the red Linda Yaccarino is right now. And then do you want to apply that to every plane in this fucking country? Like, do you want Linda running this shit? Like if like 95% of the planes crashed every day, but 5% didn't, Linda would be like, awesome, we're up to 5% planes staying in the air. Another great day for the FAA. Like she would be able to spin it. She would be able to spin it. So what are we to make of this, gentlemen?
I would say it's a W for America and an L for woke.
Yeah. I think this is woke has reared its ugly head once again. And are you guys familiar with dark woke?
No, I saw somebody post that in my Twitter replies today, but give me the breakdown. What's going on with it?
We'll get to dark woke in a second, a little bit more, but essentially dark woke is it's kind of an evolution of woke where wokesters have become mean and they're using woke to be mean. You know, there was a lot of RFK Jr. impressions, which we'll get to in the
I'm
next
dark
block.
woke then. I think I'm dark woke. I might be. I'll rep that on this live stream.
So
I'll
perhaps
be
this is
woke.
You'll be Darth woke. Ah.
I'm claiming my own territory. None of you guys step to me.
Neither dark nor light. Somewhere in the woke middle. Ah.
I don't know. You guys are fucking nerds. I don't even know what you guys are referencing.
Oh, you're
right
a
now.
weeb. We can see your fucking graphic manga in the background. Shut up.
Whoa.
Looking at the Hamas flag, the Palestine flag, and being like, that's manga, right? That's from a manga.
That's manga. That's Luffy right there.
That's from Luffy, I believe.
You know what?
Yeah.
Speaking of... Oh, go ahead.
No, what were you doing?
Oh, I was segueing, but if you didn't want to...
No. I got one or two last things.
We're still on this wokeness. We're still on
this wokeness. So the American Airlines CEO came out here, and he, I guess, was apologizing for the wokeness and the DEI. But he came out in this hideous outfit.
Hello, everyone. I'm Robert Isom, the CEO of American Airlines.
He came out in the summer polo zip up. Put on a fucking tie. If you're 70 people are dead. What is going on here? This is a mockery, and this is more insensitive than anything that's been said on this podcast today.
You know what? He thought the best way to connect with those humble working class Americans from corn country in Wichita was to level them. He didn't want to shock them and awe them by putting on a shirt with a starched collar and a fancy tie. You know what? Right. He said, I'm one of you. I'm with the people. Also, why do we have two Macs? I'm just curious about that.
Yeah, we lost it. We got to get rid of this Mac. Let's see. I'm hiding
I had to leave and join back here.
Now you've left us. You've left an echo of yourself that we'll have to figure out how to remove. Don't worry about that. Yep, we have another Mac here.
You guys are showing two Macs?
Here, let me see if I can hide it.
Now it's 2v2. Now I've taken over the stream.
I literally can't even hide it.
Mac.
Well, that's fucked up the segment. The last thing, we can cut that part of the segment, but obviously a lot of this shit just seems to be.
When I suggested, I'm just saying.
I think it broke the thing. Yeah.
Redo the segue. Am I good now?
No, you're fine. No, go for it.
Yep. Yeah. Nice. We got rid of the other Mac. But the last thing, a lot of terrible stuff happening. Obviously, the Republicans are gonna keep on finding the woke angle on pretty much everything, and I think that they're gonna. When you cast the spell of anti-woke, you run out of mana eventually, and I think they're burning all of their woke, for lack of a better word, cachet. And then I think people will eventually expect an answer deeper than it was woke. Like whenever there's a catastrophe or a malfeasance. What do you gents think about that?
Well, to carry on your, rich tapestry of an explanation, I would say if they run out of mana, they could quite simply switch to rage, which is far faster to regenerate. You know what I'm saying? Wow rules.
And it's unlimited. And then this was crazy. So the media got in this guy's fucking face. This guy who is lost his wife.
I'm just praying that somebody's pulling her out of the river right now as we speak. That's all I can pray for. I'm just praying to God.
When was the last time you spoke?
She texted me that they were landing in 20 minutes.
Can you show us a text message that you got from her?
Can you show us a text message? What?
You're lying, pal. This is sus. I need pics or it didn't happen.
What the fuck? That's so crazy. This person should be flogged in the streets. This person is that's crazy.
That's content. That's content brain right there.
Is it all just content? Is this the insidious effect of content brain?
I think it's content brain. I think it is just like that's your knee-jerk
Show
reaction.
me the
Like,
texts.
you're not looking at a human in front of you. You're looking at an opportunity for. We just broke the story of the first relative of somebody killed in this plane crash.
I think this is the first full green light on doxing. I think this is the first time where it's a full legal green light. I think the Supreme Court should outlaw content heads and people searching for content. I think that should be the next big thing, because that was I just wanted to play that to make me feel better about myself and the things I say on the show, because I'm like, okay, well I haven't gone that low. But let's get even lower, Zach. It was a big day for you, Zach. You were in the hearings for the last couple of days, fighting for your right of science. We have RFK Jr. here. I'll let Ellie take it from here. Okay, all right. RFK. No, it's been a long day, RFK. I know it's been a long day.
It's emotional. It's a tough time back here, everyone. And you know what? I want to say thank you, Griffin and Mac. You're good boys. I've always liked you. I always appreciate the time coming on over here. And I want to talk about the malicious insincerity of our government. See, my family, Kennedys, we believe in America. I always, in my whole life, I believe in America. I believe everyone gets a fair crack in this country. And I'm sorry to say that. And after 75 years on this planet, that illusion was shattered today.
A fair crack. Is that what you're smoking lately?
It took me. Excuse me, sir. One moment. I'm trying to talk about my father.
Okay, sorry. You're filibustering.
The government. And I'm here to tell you that despite the malicious treatment, and despite the smears and the scandalous rhetoric, I'm gonna make America healthy again. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. All right, incredible. That was RFK. He took a little time to come say hi to the pod after a very busy Senate hearing where he was getting down and defending science and making America healthy again. And he got into a little back and forth here with Bernie Sanders and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Let's see the throwdown here between two intellectual outsiders.
I'm going to make America healthier than other countries in the world right now.
Will you guarantee do what every other major country does? It's a simple question.
And by the way,
Bobby,
Bernie, the problem of corruption is not just in the federal agencies; it's in Congress too. Almost all the members of this panel are accepting, including yourself, are accepting millions of dollars from the pharmaceutical industry.
Oh no,
protecting their interests.
Oh. I thought that would no. I ran for president like you. I got millions and millions of contributions. They did not come from the executives, not one nickel of PAC money from the pharmaceutical industry. They came from workers.
In 2020, you were the single largest
because I had
receiver of pharmaceutical money.
From workers all over this country.
Workers, you were the
not a nickel from corporate
Bernie, you were the single largest acceptor of pharmaceutical dollars.
No.
Which is crazy, right? Because he keeps interrupting him here. And conservatives are sharing this far and wide as if it's true. What happened is, and it makes total sense when you realize this, Bernie had so many small dollar donations from workers who are technically employed in the pharmaceutical industry. We're talking about donations that all came in less than $250 increments. But because he was so popular with working people, he technically did get more funding than any of the pharmaceutical companies. But they all came in small dollar donations. And I thought Dave Weigel did a great job of explaining. He says, the context here, Kennedy accused Sanders of being bought by pharma because you were the single largest receiver of pharmaceutical money. Sanders responded, he took zero from PACs, blah, blah, blah.
That's so fucking, that's like, this is the one guy in the whole country who's not bought off by corporate PACs, who's not bought off by big pharma, who's like actually trying to do something about this. Like, of anybody in the federal government who may have some overlap with RFK on critiquing of big pharma,
Right.
it might be Bernie. Like, what?
Yeah.
Of anybody on the panel who you chose to launch that attack at, that's wild.
No, I love the mental jujitsu of I know you are, but what am I? Like, it's just like I don't even understand it. This was day 2 of them claws out going after each other. Do we also have the onesie? I'd love to see
we gotta get the
I can
onesie.
pull that one.
The
I've got this
onesie
one
clip.
on vaccines
Yeah, go
causing autism really quickly while I pull
Okay,
this one.
let's do that. Let's learn.
As I understand it, dozens of studies done all over the world that make it very clear that vaccines do not cause autism. Now, you just said, if I heard correctly, well, if the evidence is there. The evidence is there. That's it. Vaccines do not cause autism. Do you agree with that?
As I said, I'm not going to go into HHS with any preordained.
I asked you a simple question, Bobby. The studies all over the world say it does not. What do you think?
Senator, if you show me those studies, I will absolutely, as I promised to Chairman Cassidy, I will apologize.
That is a very troubling response because the studies are there. Your job was to have looked at those studies as an applicant for this job. All right.
And then we've got another banger from Bernie.
I ask some questions. Organization, now you're coming before this committee. You say you're pro-vaccine. Just want to ask some questions. And yet your organization is making money selling a child's product to parents for $26, which casts fundamental doubt on the usefulness of vaccines. Can you now that you will, now that you are pro-vaccine, to have your organization take these products off the market?
Senator, I have no power over that organization. I'm not part of it. I resigned from the board.
Yeah, that was just a few months ago. You founded that. You certainly have power. You can make that call.
Make him put it on. Make him wear
Are
it.
you supportive of these onesies?
I'm supportive of vaccines.
Are you supportive of this clothing, which is militantly anti-vaccine?
I am supportive of vaccines. I will. I want good science, and I want to protect.
But you will
vaccines.
not tell the organization you founded not to continue selling that product. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Boom.
Boom.
Got him.
Incredible.
Got him.
Got him.
Who got who, though?
That's true. I mean, these are 2 of our top podcasters talking over each other. It's just great content here. Yeah, I mean, everyone else tried to get at RFK with like gotchas, but RFK is like annoying ass thing. Is he's always like, I was misquoted actually, and here's my 19-minute answer across 3 podcasts. Like he loves to just like reset the record on every question. So what was nice to see about Bernie is he just screamed at him, which is I think a far better strategy.
To be honest, it really reminded me of how much Bernie has left in the tank if he wants to use it. I mean, the guy is older than Donald Trump and Joe Biden, but he continues to have a fire in his belly. And I saw that he filed to be eligible to run again for re-election for his next
Listen,
campaign.
I would vote for Bernie Sanders' corpse before I vote for Kamala Harris in 2028.
I mean, I'm holding out hope. I'm holding out hope that in a crazy primary, we get him taking the Brian Johnson guy's plasma or his son's blood or whatever we've got to do to continue to get this guy. We're going to reverse age Bernie Sanders back to a 45-year-old man. He's going to look like the sharpest president since Barack Obama, and then he's going to have 4 consecutive terms. That's my strategy moving forward for the left.
That's better. I mean, that's better than no strategy.
It's
which
better
is
than it's better than what we're currently doing.
I like it. I like it a lot. And I guess other than like RFK, it seems like he's got a pretty good shot at this. Seems like he's gonna fuck up a lot of stuff and do a lot of just like weird shit, and then be like, oh, actually the science or whatever. But I did see a few attacks that didn't work as well, and one I saw from Elizabeth. Okay, yeah, put that up for a second. Sure, yeah, that's what we need. We need the Brian Johnson goo substance.
This is what I want Bernie Sanders consuming every single day. I don't want him touching a single Diet Coke, cup of black coffee. We have to get this guy on the
Please,
Blueprint
Zach,
diet
stop.
ASAP.
Zach, stop force feeding me Brian Thompson's cum. I don't want it.
What the
I
fuck
want to
is
eat
that?
I want to
is
eat a
that?
pie. Well, you don't know Brian Johnson?
I've seen this guy before, but what's in the bag?
I don't want to drink it.
It's yeah, he's no longer injecting his son's blood.
I will.
Is that the adrenochrome? That's the.
I will not put the lotion on the skin. So Brian Johnson, obviously, he's the eternal life guy. He's been doing all sorts of weird hacks. So now he's really into plasma, but he's also really into chronicling his jerk-off sessions and erections and comparing them with his sons. So him and his son have been. You can take this off for a second. You can bring me back up full screen. I got to break down.
You're
his
gonna bring
erections.
up an image of his erections, or
I wish
Griffin wants to show.
I don't have that ready to go, unfortunately. I still want YouTube AdSense is going to cuck us from showing it. But that's why you sign up for the Patreon. You sign up for the Patreon. He's been like comparing in the way that you have like a sleep schedule you compare with your wife. He's been like comparing length of erections with his son. And people are like, this is really wrong to do with your son.
So he's doing the Mike Johnson.
Yeah. And he's like, this is wrong to do with your son. And his son was like, actually, I suggested it. This was my idea. So I guess the apple doesn't fall too far from the plasma.
Boy. Yeah.
So
this is actually the inverse. This is the inverse of the Mike Johnson. The Mike Johnson was, let's monitor each other's porn habits so that neither of us has the temptation to watch porn. This is the reverse of that. This is, we're going to watch a bunch of porn. We're going to jack off all the time, but we're going to do it together.
So this is Johnson versus Johnson.
Right. Right.
On Johnson's.
Okay.
Exactly.
But there's no need to be a dick.
Wow.
We're reaching deep here, man. That's all right.
So what we were about to bring up before,
when we have such a robust audience, Mac, it's it's like, well, might as well swing for the fences. I'm like, I feel like, Griffin loves it when you bring up George Carlin. I feel like George Carlin back in the day when he was, when he was just playing for clubs. You know what I mean? He would just be up there. There'd be 15 people, but that's what the goat does.
Average stand-up comedian knower, George Carlin. Yep. You're definitely not just...
That's what George Carlin would have said in that moment.
You're definitely not just LARPing to make your political point, for sure.
Profitable. In fact, he may have the opportunity to bankrupt the vaccine manufacturers, and then nobody gets vaccine.
Oh, no, not the vaccine manufacturers. That's going to get people to care. We don't want to hurt big pharma. I mean, I see her point, but it's the worst thing you could possibly
It's so annoying. It's so fucking annoying, man. It's like
it's so dumb.
There's such a lane there, and Elizabeth Warren knows this. Like, there's such a lane there. Yes, of course she does. There's such a lane there for Democrats to attack Trump for being owned by corporations and billionaires and whatever, and big pharma and whatever the fuck else. And they just can't take that lane because, first of all, two reasons. Number one, they're hyper focused on, procedure and the norms and decorum and whatever else. And then number two, because they're also owned by the same billionaires, the same corporations. So they can't make the adequate arguments that are necessary to push back on this kind of shit.
So there's been a lot more hearings today. We've got Tulsi and we've got Cash Me Outside, Cash Out Patel. Let's see a little clip here from Cash first. Now this is
this the Nazi clip?
Is this a Nazi clip? Here, pull that one up next.
He was pressed on him being on a bunch of Nazi podcasts. I can find it if you want.
Look for that while I play a little of this.
Did you say that the FBI headquarters should be shut down and reopened as a museum of the deep state?
Get him, Klob.
Chairman, are we allowed to go an extra time?
You get a second round.
before I call on Senator Lee.
Could he just answer the question if he said that the FBI headquarters where they investigate cybercrime and terrorism
Okay, can we pause this
and
for a
open as a
second? I'm
deep
sorry.
state,
Somebody
as
has
a
it.
museum? Did he
There's
say
no way
that the
this woman would ever be
headquarters-
president. I can't believe she even made it this far. It's a miracle she became a senator. That is one of the most unlistenable voices I've ever heard in my entire life. Oh my God, it's like nails on a chalkboard. I don't even remember seeing.
We just left RFK.
I'm like, man, it's nothing but L's over here. Could we please get somebody with a pristine delivery? I'm serious.
Now, see, I like her here. I like her in this setting because she's a bulldog. She's asking for the manager. This is where you can treat people like she treats her interns. You know, this is her safe space, kind of.
Headquarters should be shut down.
Mr. Chair.
I deserve an answer to that question.
I
He
guess
is
it's-
asking to be head of the FBI, and he said that their headquarters should be shut down.
Mr. Chair, parliamentary inquiry.
You got anything you want to say, Mr. Patel, before I go on to Senator Lee?
Simply this. If the best attacks on me are going to be false accusations and grotesque mischaracterizations, the only thing this body is doing is defeating the credibility of the men and women at the FBI. I stood with them here in this country. In every theater of war we have, I was on the ground in service of this nation. And any accusations leveled against me that I would somehow put political bias before the Constitution are grotesquely unfair. And
What happened to this guy's neck? This guy has absolutely no neck at all. There's just shoulder and then head. What is happening here?
It's the stressed slouch. I get what he's doing there. It's when you get a little bit overwhelmed, you put your shoulders up, you kind of
You're
lean
right.
down a little
Somebody
bit. It's
called the
okay.
dye workwear guy, and he'll explain how it's
Yeah.
all the result of his tailoring.
That's true. He's probably right too.
He'll be like, it's because of his pants. Actually, his pants are wrong.
Oh
He
God.
didn't do the 1/3
If he would
breakdown.
have, if he would have used a bolo tie, it would have been far more accentuating of his natural features.
Yeah. So basically, Kash is going in. I mean, what are our chance? What's our money on? Because my money's on RFK gets in. Seems like Tulsi's getting in, and seems like Kash is getting in.
I think they're all getting in, bro.
Yeah,
They
they're all
probably
getting
will.
in.
The
Everybody
lowest
get in
chance,
here.
I would say, the one wild card I think is Tulsi, because Democrats hate her because they view her as sort of like a turncoat. Republicans are questionable about the Snowden stuff and about a bunch of other, anti-spying on Americans illegally kind of stuff. So
If McConnell holds out, then she won't. But I don't think he actually does.
she
in that whole thing.
I think there's got to be one sacrificial lamb. One of these guys has to go down.
I thought it was going to be Hegseth, and then when it wasn't, I was like,
No.
fuck.
After Hegseth didn't go down, I was like, they're all getting in. If
That's
this,
kinda
like,
where I'm at.
If slop job is getting in there, if the guy that every other photo is him covered in his own saliva, like we're
the guy who on live TV threw an axe at like a background parade
he's-
man.
He's axed people on TV.
Yeah.
A guy, if you've done a keg stand on cable news, you're getting in.
Yeah.
Let's take a clip here from Tulsi for a second. This is Tulsi on.
I also have another Kash. I got this Kash Patel Nazi
let's do
clip
Kash.
pulled up here.
Hit me with Kash.
All right, here
Hit me with that cash money. Kash Patel.
Here we go. All right, we got Kash Patel on his numerous podcast appearances with, let's say, Nazi adjacent figures.
Mm-hmm.
Peters, does that name ring a bell?
I'm sorry. What?
Are you familiar with?
Not off the top of my head.
He made 8 separate appearances on his podcast.
8?
Just conspiracy
8?
And worked with a prominent neo-Nazi.
What? 8?
There are more. Ted Nugent. It goes on. List goes on. I'm just asking, when it comes to your association with individuals, why are so many of them in this category?
My association, as you loosely define it, is by appearing in media over 1,000 times to take on people who are putting on conspiratorial theories and to devour them of their false impressions.
He's talking about us.
Talk to them
Hell
about
yeah.
the truth.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
is something
Spread
that I will always
conspiracies.
continue to fight for, Senator.
Okay, wait. So let's be clear. So he was asked, let me be clear. He was asked about going on Stu Peters' podcast.
Who's Stu Peters? Let's see.
8 separate. Okay, you want me to read it? his
I'll
bio
pull him
here
up
real quick.
Yeah, break it down for me.
American alt-right internet personality known for promoting COVID-19 misinformation, conspiracy theories, as well as anti-LGBTQ, anti-Semitic, and white supremacist beliefs. Here's where it gets good, guys. He's previously been a rapper, as well as, wait for it, a bounty hunter, and had the Stu Peters show back in 2020. Now, he's described as at least Nazi adjacent. Our boy here, Kash Patel, made 8 separate appearances on this man's podcast, apparently, and tried to pull the little weaselly... Oh, sorry, what did you say? Well, sorry, who was that? What are you talking about there?
Right.
When he was asked about it.
Sorry. Yeah, that'd be like me trying to pretend I didn't know Zach or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah,
Like,
Many
oh,
people
the
try
Vanguard?
that in media. Don't worry. I'll never let you forget. I have a photo. I'm gonna,
You do have some incriminating photos of me.
Look, this
That's
man's
trust.
asleep right here.
This is Stu Peters.
Here we go. Let's go.
Let's see this dangerous man that Kash Patel has aligned with. Oh no.
Bro, the rain filter.
Oh no.
Bro, I gotta hear him spit, bro. It's gonna be frosty. Here we go. Drip.
No regrets,
Drip.
right? It's just something people say to be nice. Specifically, the ones you dial when you're faded at night. Drunk talk like, come and see me, man. I'll pay for your flight. You gotta hear this new shit I'm on. The video's right. Dog, I've been talking to record labels, investors, promoters. And the future looks real bright for Focus. We're planning on shows in the tropics. I'm talking Grammys and Oscars. Have time for football and in the ring with them boxers. They're gonna know the name Stuart Peters. From the grassroots music to influence on big screens and movie theaters.
Wow, I can't believe that maybe being an alt-right Nazi is an improvement. Okay, so that's Kash Patel's best friend. When Kash gets signed in, they're gonna dap and they're gonna freestyle in the FBI headquarters, which I guess he's gonna turn into a museum of the deep state. Is Kash Patel, other than bringing white hip hop flow back, is Kash Patel going to dismantle our intelligence agencies? Is he going to make things based again?
Well, it's tough to say right now, but I've heard rumblings.
Mac, you can't let Zach always answer first, because then.
No, I love it. That's my favorite thing to do.
We're not getting anywhere.
No, I love hearing with the empty silence followed by the improv. It's amazing. Keep going.
You know what? It's a tough crowd, everyone. But we have to take. You know what? We take our bruises. We take our lumps. We come back strong.
He's rooting out the deep state. The deep state is done for. The establishment is done for. FBI will no longer exist. It's going to be great for leftists for obvious reasons. He's definitely not going to go after Palestine protesters or whatever on college campuses. There's not going to be no more assassinations on U.S. soil. It's all going to be amazing and fantastic and beautiful. We love it, folks. Don't we love it?
I think he takes his lazy eye out and he sees the future with it. And I think that's going to stop all future assassinations. Right. Which, if I'm getting to be honest, that should be probably the first thing they do is find out what's going on with all that,
is
right?
it a lazy eye? Did he lose the eye in war?
What's his military? Because he said
hearing from Dan Crenshaw, he was not the go-to podcast guest anymore. I was like, they must have found another one-eyed guy to take his place on the Nazi podcast circuit. So really, Kash Patel should send a fruit basket to what's his name, Dan Crenshaw, because that guy paved the way as the one-eyed podcast guest.
That's right. I thought that his eye got that way from a gooning mishap.
Shot a load right in his.
That he struck himself, and it's like that other guy who recently took his own life for gooning at the fast food drive-through. Did you guys see that? The goonicide.
What the fuck are you talking about?
He was gooning at the drive-thru and then killed himself, so it's like an autoerotic.
So
suicide?
video, I don't know if he was gooning so hard that he forgot that he was in public in a car, but he pulled up to the drive-thru, and the drive-thru lady filmed him gooning, and then he realized it and drove off, and then took his own life. And that's what I'm hoping
an
Kash
inspirational
does.
story.
Where are you pulling this from,
doing
bro?
that? That's the
I
only
did not make it
solution.
up. This is someone in the chat back me up. The goonicide is one of
Wait,
the
you know what
top
we need?
memes.
We need Kash
Open
Patel.
the schools. Open the schools.
No. We need Kash Patel. We need the new FBI to look into Griffin Davis's research history and
This
what
is
exactly he's
ridiculous.
been.
I'm just
What's going on
educated.
with your algorithm? What's
Yeah, dude.
popping up in the algorithm? That
How do
this
I
is
get on
something
your
that-
algorithm? All the algorithm wants to suggest to me is like RFK confirmation, Tulsi Gabbard confirmation.
And you ain't got shit to say about that either. This is the goonicide right here. I'll pull it up right here to prove. There's funerals for the goon. Look, these are people going to the funeral at the fast food place to honor his memory.
Wow.
Let's see.
But if they really wanted to honor his memory, wouldn't they go hogs out? Wouldn't everybody just whip
That's
one
right.
out, Fight Club style, and really just goon
Everyone
one
should,
together?
should jerk off in the crowd. All right, so here's the original guy. He's caught gooning at the drive-thru. And
This seems so staged to me. That's the lady that caught
what's
him.
going on?
Okay, here I'll find the original video if I can. Here we go. So here it is. And okay, this is some fucking stupid ass edit. See, I wasn't prepared to cover the goonicide.
You brought it up.
You can't just tease a goonicide and not want us to investigate, dog.
So he gets caught here. He drives off, and someone in chat backed me up. Okay, this is a big.
So is he like no pants, fap out? Let's rock and roll in this. If we just can't see it.
I think he went like many in gooning. You go into a fugue state where you kind of don't know exactly what is going on. Like you don't know.
Why are
exactly
you hungry if you're gooning? Aren't those things kind of counteractive?
That's got to be the stupidest question I've ever heard. You never are hungry after sex or something. You never want to
Not
eat
in the process of it.
No,
I'm not like, hold
pray.
on, babe, let me
I
get
pray.
a sandwich, bro. Like, oh, hold on, everybody. I'm going to be out right with a second. I'm just eating a sandwich, having a 7-layer burrito from Taco Bell while I'm like, half chubbed. No, that's not something that I do frequently.
I like to go to church after gooning. Thank you very much.
So now other people are doing it. Now other people are jerking off at fast food restaurants.
You're wearing no
Gooniverse.
pants. Are you fucking stupid?
This was supposed to be a full segment on the hearings, but now we're full goon side. So
We
I
live
was saying
in the
that's I think
Gooniverse,
what's
man.
that's what's happening with Gooniverse. We'll cut that clip right there. We'll do that clip of the Gooniverse. Griffin explains the Gooniverse. There's a few other things I really had to get to in the remaining time that we do have on this podcast episode. Mac, why don't you take it from here? We talked last episode a little bit about the gamer salute, but now we've got it's gone mainstream. It's gone to the churches.
Oh yeah. So if you guys remember, we had a little, I guess what are we calling it? A questionable salute, an awkward autistic gesture, as some have called it.
Yeah,
from
Zach,
Elon Musk.
as the resident autistic person.
Yeah, it's Circle Jerk America. Call me the resident retard, Griffin. Say it with your whole
wow.
chest.
Okay.
The Bernie to Trump pipeline language.
So
thank God but God bless Donald Trump.
So we got a follow up to that because now we have a very enthused and aroused. I guess this is a bishop. Is this a bishop or is this a priest or I don't know what he is, but something involved.
Nomenclature aside, a holy man.
Nomenclature inside, a man of God, a speaker, a
gooner.
direct prophet here, a speaker on behalf of the entirety
Certainly an
of the
expert
religious.
at gooning, if he is.
Exactly.
This guy goons.
This guy, not only does he goon, but he probably puts up record numbers. Okay, he's probably. I mean, him and the other guys, they're probably all sitting on their little, beds all across the gymnasium, like seeing who can shoot it the farthest.
He's gooning hard. He's gooning for Elon. He's gooning for Trump, and he just wants to be in the club right now. And so he goes a little bit too hard right here. Let's just watch this clip here. Let's see this little outro of his.
Where
I think this was
this.
This was at like a pro-life summit, I think. So this was already
Okay.
kind of like a conservative
friends.
event. He's amongst friends. I don't know if he knows that the cameras are on, but here he goes a little bit too hard.
This is the last stand for Christendom. It's make or break time. The whole of the old world is crumbling. Every country in Europe is embracing death. America, as far as I could see, is the only country fighting for life.
This guy-
And that's
where the
down
fuck
to
is he
you
from?
guys. So God bless all
South
of you. for
Africa?
doing.
He sounds
Please
like
keep
Christopher
doing it.
Hitchens.
I hope that I can encourage you. And my heart goes out to you. God bless.
My
All right.
heart goes out to you. I'm gonna do a
Huge laugh. Huge pop. Big pop. Probably
We
bigger
also had
pop than we'll
this.
get on this episode.
This was in the rundown as well. So this is the bishop, I guess.
Yeah,
We had a
so-
statement here. Since the bold the bold "My heart goes out to you" proclamation that we had there, our boy
2
has
hours later.
he's been defrocked. He's been
defrocked.
defanged, and removed from his position. I guess they had a statement here. Down here, they say, "We understand this is not just an administrative matter. The Holocaust is bad, etc., etc. We condemn Nazism and anti-Semitism. Those who mimic the Nazi salute, even as a joke or a troll to their opponents, they trivialize the horror of the Holocaust and diminish the sacrifice, etc., etc." He has been banned. He has been censored. He has been shut down in the eyes of the Catholic Church. What do you guys think about this?
It's fucked up. He was just out there just trying to do 4chan and 8chan memes for God, and I guess that's not into it. I mean, this is the thing that these guys are going to keep bumping up against, and it was kind of the evolution from the Elon thing, which was that, like, all the online people were like, "You fucking pussies, you think that was a Nazi salute, you freaking wokesters, everyone thinks you're crazy." And then, like, it took a few days, but they realized every normal person actually also thought that was a Nazi salute. And that wasn't some far fucking leftist conspiracy that we all saw it with our own fucking eyes. And it was like, oh, actually, if you talk to anyone at a bar or a restaurant or at the bus stop and you see that, they all know what it fucking is. And it really does go to show it's like, the conservatives are super obsessed, and the media is super obsessed as well in Hollywood with this idea that conservatives own the culture now. And I'm sorry, you guys beat a zombie for president. You were running against a dead person. And you think all of a sudden you've won the culture? I don't know. Maybe win a few races against an alive human being before you fucking like just traipse into the finish line and think that everyone fucking believes in you. Yeah, it's just like there's this asserted total feeling that they rock, that they own, that everyone loves their fucking weird incel humor, and it's I think a complete bubble that is going to continue to burst.
Shame on you, Griffin. That was Kamala Erasure. Okay, that woman was 50 years old. She was a spring chicken, and the only reason she lost is because this country's full of racists and bigots.
That's true too. And we're gonna have to deal with that in our own way. But like Mac, how long does all this last? Because I also like it reminded me too of like the playing thing again, where it's like they're gonna start just using the dumbest like woke attack points like in real life, and I do think when the rubber hits the road, a lot of this stuff is just not sticking.
Okay, so I'm going to rewind a couple of days now. We're a little bit late to this clip.
Sure.
I was going to cover it on my channel, but I feel like this might be a adequate time to pull this up. So we had here a segment on CNN where basically you had this Republican guest who's always on CNN. He's always contributing on these segments, and he was asked about this Elon salute. And I think this is kind of what you're talking about here, where the rubber hits the road. And it's sort of like, if this wasn't a Nazi salute, if this wasn't what we all think that it was, then okay, do it. Do it right now. Do it on, do it live here on air. So let's go ahead and watch this short little CNN clip, and I'll follow up after this. But this was entertaining to me.
Reshare it. We're not getting audio. You might have to do the tab audio thing.
Oh.
Let's see. Here, I'll share it on this.
Penis to vagina. I see.
All right, here we go.
Record.
Okay, sick. That'll work.
So
nice. I hear it.
Long record of supporting the Jewish people, number one. Number two, anybody who is asserting this thing he did on the stage the other day was a sig heil, which I just heard you say, lawyer up maybe, because absolute ridiculous.
Lawyer up.
Under no
The
circumstances.
Nazis in Germany thought it was a Sieg Heil.
Under no
The Nazis in Germany thought it was a Sieg
circumstances
Heil.
was he doing anything other than expressing enthusiastically.
Why don't you do it
his
on TV right
appreciate-
now?
His appreciation.
Why don't
to
you
the
do it on
crowd.
TV right now if you think it's so
Number three.
banal?
So basically, what he did there at the end was he went, mods, please ban this person from the conversation. I don't want to continue it. And I think, again, that's what you were just saying, Griffin, is it's like, listen, we saw what we saw. Okay. We know what you were doing. This isn't difficult. Okay. If it's not a Nazi salute, if it's the Roman salute that everybody apparently learned about last week, if it's my heart goes out to you, do it in public, do it in your school, do it in your workplace, see what happens.
Yep. Just sign off from your next stand-up Zoom call.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. Just don't do it at the drive-thru. But like, on top of that, it's just like, oh, we've like won conservatism or whatever. We've won the culture war or whatever. And it's like paying to boost your own fucking Nazi memes on Twitter does like not mean that you've like won anyone's fucking attention. You've just made a lot of people like leave the app basically. And just ultimately with like all this culture stuff, it's just like people do like some of the conservative culture. They like Yellowstone. They don't like this fucking gay Nazi shit. Like these weird incel, like homoerotic shit that they're doing in these weird alts fucking circles. Like no one voted for that. People like Yellowstone. People like cowboys. People like classic Ronald Reagan conservatism, not this weird deep fried European Nazi shit. So like I think these guys are actually they're starting to be a crack in Elon's armor. First it was that he was a fake gamer, and now it's this. And so I think now we just need a third thing.
The third thing was that they built his office. They chucked his office out of the West Wing. He no longer has direct access to Donald Trump. Donald Trump's chief of staff is like, hit the high road, Elon. We don't want you around here. We shipped Vivek off to Ohio, and we're shipping you off to like the Roosevelt building or something. But they don't want him to have immediate access to the president anymore.
They had ICE deport Vivek to Ohio. That was very, very brutal. And then we've got like this article from like the New York Mag here that's like, the cruel kids table among the young, confident, and casually cruel Trumpers who, after conquering Washington, have set their sights on America. And I just gotta say, it's like, you guys,
Who are these people?
You guys be like, these are just like the same crypto finance bros that have always been in New York. Like these are not like, this is not a political contingent of people. This is like 20 white people in a picture. Oh, they got 2 black guys. Nice. That's good. Oh, 3.
You got the guy that's rocking the Pat Mahomes haircut in the middle. That's what's up.
Nice. But yeah, I mean, they won by the slimmest like popular vote in decades. They ran against a corpse for most of it, and then they ran against like, I don't know, like some weird ass like they ran against Kamala in like the last fucking 2 months, but they were essentially still running against Biden like the whole fucking time. They're still blaming shit on Biden.
So here's an extra like depressing thing. Okay, number one, I agree with y'all. Elon blew his load a little bit too early. Okay, I feel like not only Trump is already annoyed with him, but I see a like massive crash coming on the horizon. He's gonna end up coming to blows with Trump. But the second part, the depressing thing here to me, is that even though everything you just said is, I think, accurate, Democrats are still, I think, going to claw their way back in these special elections. They're still going to claw their way back, probably win the midterms, and they're going to learn absolutely nothing. So they might win in 2026 and then 2028, and people are going to have this anti-Trump energy, and that's having a little bit of a resurgence right now, even though the sort of like corporate media and mainstream politicians and whatever aren't really feeling it in the same way. It's going to have some sort of a resurgence, but they're going to learn absolutely nothing.
Yep. Right. Because they like refuse to. I mean, it's like they don't want to change anything about it, and they won't until they literally like either die in office or the party itself is like crumbles, which is kind of like what it's doing right now. They don't really have any introspection or any like deeper desire to win, and it really is up to like I guess people that want to be president in the Democratic Party to start doing anything. I mean, Pete Buttigieg like hasn't really shown up at all to the plate since. Like there's like a big vacuum for people to like show up and like fucking play ball for a little bit, get in front of the fucking cameras, and I have barely seen any of it.
Yeah, I think there's really two paths for the Democrats to get back into the White House. One is it's just an abominable failure from Donald Trump this time around, and the people have such a bad taste going forward that the Republican brand is just so dilapidated and fucked that we get kind of like a Joe Biden stand in for one more term. Or I think there has to be an insurgent person, like Griffin said, who just wants to be president, who is a total narcissist, who is just in it for themselves and will embrace everything that they feel like they need to do to become a president. I think that's the only way the Democrats actually get the ship righted, was they get themselves another Barack Obama who talked all the right game. Obviously, he didn't deliver anything for the American people, but when he showed up, he said a lot of the right things. I was watching his debate performance on in the primaries in 2008 yesterday after I saw a clip going viral, and I was astonished at how well he did at deceiving the American people with his
How you liked his swag.
I loved him, dude. I immediately fell in love with this guy again. I was like, oh my God, if we could only have a politician like this. And I know how badly he fucked the... No, it's not the first time I've ever seen an Obama clip, but it's like in this current landscape, tell me a Democrat that can speak even half as well as him.
John Fetterman. John Fetterman.
We must... Israel. So the thing about all that is I agree with you that Dems seem to be insistent on dying, on going into hospice, but Trump insists on, it seems like every decision he makes is trying to crash this economy into the ground with all these executive orders, all of these tariffs that he's promising, all these economic war he's promising with like all these different countries every single day. He seems pretty insistent on crashing this economy. And so it does seem like whether the Democrats do anything at all, that this thing is just going to ping pong back to them and then back to the Republicans every 4 years as each party continues like austerity and shooting themselves in the fucking foot. Which is something to look forward to, guys. Last thing, we've got, all right then, ding, 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 ding. We've got a little movie news to round out our episode today. It is the Oscars.
This is why I came here.
There has been drama. So there is one movie that is a movie that I will come out and bravely say I really enjoyed Amelia Perez. I've been thinking about it a lot, but the lead actress of Amelia Perez has been caught with some very mean tweets about Muslims that have been going around, threatening potentially her Oscar run. You know what? Let's actually start with a clip from the musical itself.
Wait, what era is this from, by the way?
What era?
Yeah,
like, is this like
tweets.
Charlie
What's the date? What's the date of the tweets?
Okay, we'll find that out in a second. You guys look at that while I play this.
I would imagine it's Charlie Hebdo.
Hello, very nice to meet you. I'd like to know about sex change operation.
I see. Men to woman, or woman to men.
Man to woman.
From penis to vagina. Is it for you?
For me.
What would you like to know about it, madam?
I want to know it all. What is the protocol? The techniques and the risks. How many operations? How much time do you need?
Mammoplasty.
Yes.
Vaginoplasty.
Yes.
Rhinoplasty.
Yes. Now's a clip that was going around from Amelia Perez. It is a musical that has absolute bars. It is a musical about a drug cartel leader in Mexico that hires Zoe Saldana, a lawyer, to arrange for the cartel leader to undergo a sex change. And it is a musical about that cartel leader becoming a woman and all of the challenges that leads. And I thought the film was hilarious. I thought the film was also very earnest and very sweet at times. I thought that a lot of the songs were really good, and that is just an insane song. But I think that most people like approached this movie with like expecting it to be a normal movie. But to me, it reminded me a lot more of like a Mexican soap opera or something, like something outlandish and crazy. But aside from the creative aspects of that, we got to get into these tweets. I mean, what are we thinking? These are Charlie Hebdo tweets from
that's kind of what I thought from the one that you
here.
threw up really quickly. It had a cartoon on it, and it seemed like
so. This one is from like kind of late 2016. I mean, that's a little bit late to the Charlie Hebdo stuff, but you know.
She says, new attack in France, beheadings in Nice by one of these R-word followers of Allah. How many times will we have to expel these madmen from Europe? Hollywood was like, we like that you hate Muslims. We don't like that you use the R-word. She says, Islam is becoming
adequate paperwork.
Islam is becoming a hotbed of infection for humanity that urgently needs to be cured. Okay, a little Nazi posting.
Why did she thank Erdogan?
Oh wait, yeah. She's
go back to the first tweet. The first tweet, she thanks Erdogan at the end.
Gracias, Erdogan. Muchas gracias, President of Turkey. You know, so they've been political and they've been, you know, a loud voice for a long time. How many more times will history have to expel the Moors from Spain? That's a question I'm asking myself all the time. Islam is wonderful without any kind of sexism. Women are respected, and when they are respected a lot, they leave a little square. Okay, I'm not gonna do all these, but so she's getting in hot water for that. And I'm concerned because you know this film was already getting a lot of negative press. People said it was bad or that it was insensitive to the trans experience or the Mexican experience, and maybe all of that is right. But I still enjoyed the movie. Or do we think this is gonna hurt the campaign?
I don't think she's going to win at all. But I don't have much else to add because I haven't seen the movie.
I didn't watch the movie either. I'm not reading the book. I'm just looking at the cover right now. But based on that one song, I'm personally insulted that this got nominated for so many Oscars. I'm just going to say that.
I think Demi Moore is going to win.
It's the only song that's in English. Every other song is in Spanish. And I also think that is why that song got clipped out as the most like outlandish one or whatever.
I heard other people saying like, don't make that song the whole movie. You know, it wasn't as bad as I thought. Okay. I don't know. Make a better song, I guess. I don't have anything else to add to that.
Okay, well, you know, creative differences aside, she didn't just talk about politics, you know, in Je suis Charlie Hebdo. She also took it to America sometimes. She says here, Gascon posted a long thread about George Floyd. Yes, just days after he was killed by a police officer, inspiring protests across the U.S. I really think that very few people ever cared about George Floyd, a drug addict swindler. But his death has served to once again demonstrate there are people who, oh my God, I don't even want to read these, who still consider black people to be monkeys without rights and consider policemen to be assassins.
She's mad
They're
at everybody.
all wrong.
So she's doing a centrist. She's doing a little
centrist
pivot here.
Base centrism.
Says, don't say that black people are monkeys, but also don't say that cops are bad. What the fuck is going on here, man?
In a follow-up post, Gascon added, too many things to reflect on regarding the behavior of our species every time an event occurs. Perhaps it is no longer a question of racism, but of social classes that feel threatened by each other. Maybe that's the only real difference. Okay. Going for a little more of a systemic...
She needs to read more theory.
But then she also went at stuff. She, I guess, complained about COVID. Let's see. No Man Land. More and more, the Oscars are looking like a ceremony for independent and protest films. I didn't know if I was watching an Afro-Korean festival, a Black Lives demonstration, or the 8M, Gascon wrote. Apart from that, an ugly gala. Wow.
Well, that seals her fate. She definitely won't win. You can't insult the Academy. They
You
demand
cannot
you kiss
insult
their
the
ass.
gala.
Dude. There we go. Let's give a round of applause. That just secured the deal. Demi Moore will win Best Actress for The Substance. And also, let's not forget, the Academy loves a moment for feminism, okay? They love a white woman to be able to give a speech about feminism We all remember
Yes.
Patricia Arquette.
Yeah. Wait, you don't like Patricia Arquette?
No, I just remember. Do you remember when she gave that like really cringy speech after she won for Boyhood, and it was like, "We fought for everyone else's rights. Now it's time to fight for women's rights." And I was like,
Yo.
"LOL, you are a white lady that's been famous for the last 25 years."
Yo, Patricia, I'm Team Patricia there. She
No,
rocks.
dude, Lost Highway is a great movie.
I mean, you watch Severance right now? She's killing it on
Oh, is
set.
she on a TV show right now?
This is ridiculous. You have to experience some culture or art for this show. Okay? Watch Severance. Severance is so good.
I'm still catching up on Succession.
Okay, yeah, another show sounds the same. I don't know. I really liked the movie, and you know, the last thing I guess I will say is, you know, if she's going down for these tweets about Muslims, there are the majority of people in Hollywood that hate Muslims way more than her. They haven't done shit over the last year and a half for all this fucking Gaza genocide. They've actually like fired agents, managers, and actors, like unrepped people for like sharing an Instagram post saying like, don't kill kids. Or you're like, watch it, man. Let's calm down. So I think Hollywood hates Muslims more than any of these tweets and has
They
been
all
far
banded
more
together to be like,
racist
yeah, we
and
support
vile.
the murder of Palestinian children. Remember? It was like, let's have Wonder Woman talk about how it's actually based to do extermination.
Exactly. So my advice to that actress is you have a few weeks. If you start tweeting every day pro-Israel stuff, you can get this back in the bag. You can maybe take a picture with Netanyahu. You can do a one-on-one with Brianna Wu.
She needs to do the trip to Auschwitz. Maybe she'll get Ben Shapiro. She'll get Ben Shapiro.
We need her to
Elon
touch
Musk,
the
go
wall.
back to Auschwitz.
I need her to touch the Wailing Wall.
Touch the Wailing Wall.
And be cured. I need her eyes to go white and her hair to blow back. I think a pro-Israel stance could get us back up on that stage. Could get Amelia Perez back. So that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm praying for, and that's what I wanted to leave all you with in this episode. Check out Amelia Perez and check on each other, and don't get into any planes. I guess I'm getting on a plane in 2 days. What should I?
No more planes.
Walk
We need more
instead.
trains. We need more bikes and trains. No more planes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, we'll see you guys later. Bye now. Salute. I see. Penis and vagina. Okay, great. Nice. Okay, we got through a few blogs. That was fun.
Oh yeah. I had a good time.
Hell yeah, I did too. Do we want to maybe try to clip out a few of these for the
I
channel?
think we should clip
Zach?
the.
We'll definitely do the plain one.
Which one we were gonna clip? The the Gooner.
Oh,
The Gooner.
Okay, let's do the plane and the goon and the
Honestly, probably the dude that gets declothed or whatever the fuck it's called.
yeah, let's do that one too.
Yeah.
Here.
I'm just
If
trying
you're
to
gonna
think
do
of
the
short
plane,
stuff
you got to
that-
do the plane.